Welcome to the Engineering, Emotions, and Energy Podcast, where you can relax, recharge, and reconnect. And now, your host, Justin Wink.
Hi there, I'm Justin.
And I'm Jacqui.
And you might be wondering who's the other person, depending on whose podcast you're listening to. So Jacqui, why don't you let my audience know who you are, and then I'll let your audience know who I am.
Perfect. So my name is Jacqui Grant. I'm the owner of Break Free Consultancy. And I, many years ago, was morbidly obese. So I decided to do something about that. And I became a weight management coach and practitioner, personal trainer, after releasing 114 kilos. Now, for those of you listening in America...
Yeah, what is that in American?
Yeah, I really don't know. I was going to say, I didn't bring my calculator with me. But
I think that's over somewhere over 200 pounds, I think. It's...
Yeah, it's extensive. It's like 1.5 of the average body person. So if you look at the average person that's in a healthy weight range, it's 1 to 1.5 of them. Mm-hmm. So that gave me back my health and well-being, and I chose to empower other people to do the same thing.
And your podcast is called?
Oh, my podcast is called Break Free with Jacqui, and you'll also see Break Free Consultancy, Live Your Best Life.
All right. And my name's Justin Wink. I have the Engineering, Emotions, and Energy podcast. I do coaching and guided experiences. My thing is I want to help people relax, recharge, and reconnect. My background is actually engineering. I have a Ph.D. in electrical engineering. Mm-hmm. And you might be like, well, what's Justin doing? Like coaching people and talking about, weight and how to relax and all this stuff. Well, so my expertise is in complex systems and their programming. And about, 15 years ago, maybe a little bit more, got really into like yoga and meditation. Mm-hmm. And I've then also done classes in neurolinguistic programming. So I've really taken my system expertise and applied to the most complex system, which is the human system and its programming. And really a lot of the things that we don't like has nothing to do with our innate humanness. It's just some programming that isn't the most helpful anymore. And it's like, well, how do we identify it, let it go, and let our true nature shine, which is more and more, I believe, to be, really happy, really loving life, enjoying it, and doing good stuff. That's our ultimate natural state that we can get to, and many people have, and many people will. And part of the fun is figuring out how to get there. So what do we want to talk about, Jacqui?
Today, I think a great topic for the audience, and especially given where we've come from and how we can bring that together for people, is body image and how that impacts their weight, their health, and their well-being, because it all comes back to one thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure probably if most people saw a picture of either of us, they'd be like, "What? Why would either of you have any issues with body image? Like you both look fantastic." Like,
yeah, we do. We look awesome.
Yeah, but it's like I know as like a kid and teenager, like I was a chubby kid, chubby adolescent, and it wasn't like until I got mono my freshman year of college that I dropped a good amount of it.
Although, what a way to do it, huh?
Yeah. So it was like I got skinny, but it's like I look back at pictures and it's like, oh, I don't look healthy. Yeah. And I think that's an important thing to realize, is that the number on the scale doesn't always go with healthiness.
No, 100%. And when I was like what they considered morbidly obese, I at times did not see that. Like I'd look in the mirror and I just go, well, it's just me, and I would look at features of myself that I really liked, but at the same time, my body told me, the stress fractures in my feet, the constant shortness of breath. So my health really suffered. But then I got down to around 52 kilos. Oh, no, 49 at one point, 49 kilos, which is like really too thin for me. Mm-hmm. And I looked in the mirror. And once again, I was like, today I look good. Yeah. And then another day I go, I look like crap. But I was not healthy. So that the weight, as you said, the number on the scales, it can't be just that you're aiming for, because you can go too far.
Yeah. You can be unhealthy at any weight. And then you can be healthy at, I'm not going to say any weight, because I do think that there ends up being some people that at a much heavier weight, they are healthy. They are maybe at their alignment. It's probably not nearly in the numbers that we're seeing lately. That I think is mostly due to the common diet. It's we have shit food available in most of our countries. So
absolutely. And like here, I talk to a lot of people around their weight and and they come to me and they say, oh, my doctor wants me to lose weight. And I'll go, well, do you want to lose weight? Because just because someone else wants you to do it, like what are you seeing when you look in the mirror? What's your body telling you? And then they go, but I can't afford to eat veggies. I mean, we had an episode here at one point where there was flooding in one of our states, and lettuce was like $10 to buy a lettuce. So it was cheaper to go to McDonald's and get a whole meal than buy one lettuce. It was crazy.
Well, to be fair, the lettuce does kind of suck. So
not a lettuce bag.
Because I don't think I knew there was something besides iceberg lettuce until like I was 25 or something. And
all right.
Yeah, iceberg lettuce I think has no nutritional value. It's basically just almost, I don't know, cellulose with some water in it. So one thing I think is, we were kind of talking about it before, is what are the goals? And I think you've said you had two different phrases, you know, the more common losing weight, but then I think you also use the term releasing weight.
Yes.
And so a lot of this language does play into like, well, what is it that we're trying to accomplish? Because I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on that?
Alrighty. So as you would know, especially doing NLP, I've done that one as well, is that our beliefs and our words that we always use become our beliefs, and then our beliefs impact our emotions, which then impact our actions. So when the subconscious mind is always listening, it doesn't decide this is good or this is bad. That's us and our emotions and what we're taught. So when you say I've lost weight or I want to lose weight, the subconscious mind says we better find that. We're going to go looking for it, because, and I'll give you the best example ever, is that if I said, oh, hey, Justin, I've lost my car keys, what's your response?
Where are they?
Yeah, go look for them. Where did you last see them? Right? Because I want them back. But if I said to you, hey, Justin, I've lost like 10 kilos, what's your response? Oh,
that's great.
Yeah. But it's a different energy. It was like, that was really good to let that go.
Right.
And the same, and loss also, along those lines, when we talk about grief, if we lose somebody, we feel a sadness. We feel like that's really sad. When we've lost our car keys, we might be annoyed, we might be frustrated, whatever's going on.
Yeah, we don't want to be annoyed or frustrated.
No, not about weight. No, because we don't want it anymore. So that's when I came up with the language of releasing it and letting it go. It's, you know, like with your yoga and everything else that you've learned, is that when you don't require anything anymore and you let it go, how do you feel?
Oh, well, lighter, you know, more at ease. Yeah. So I like that. Yeah. Another place where I sometimes go with the language is getting like really specific on, sometimes I'll do like a silly joke of like, you want to, you know, lose weight, release weight. Like, you know, you just go drive by a train and have your arm out. And then when the train comes by, it'll just take your arm off. That's probably, you know, 20 pounds, 10 kilos right there. Boom. Easy peasy. Like what? It doesn't have to be hard. It can be near instant to just have some. So I often try to get like specific. It's like, well, I want to reduce body fat, right? That's usually what you actually want to do, is it's like, there's too much body fat that's making the pants too tight or the whatever. So I like to try to get really clear with like, well, what am I really wanting to do? And then not just getting, I sometimes wonder if the subconscious could be going like, yeah, we don't want to like lose organ tissue, or we don't want to like lose a limb, or we need this stuff. This is important.
Yeah. That's why I'll often say to people, like, they'll say, oh, I want to lose 10 kilos. And I'll go, great. And they go, and can I lose it off my stomach? And I went, I don't know. Because your body's like going to do its own thing. And we see it time and time again. And women are like incredible for this. It's like, they say you get the woman that's not got a big bust, but they've got a big tummy and they want to lose some weight. They go, oh my gosh, my boobs got smaller, but my stomach's still the same. Like, but I've lost 10 kilos. And I'm like, yeah, you have no control over that bit. But if you focus on the excess weight, like you said, getting really specific, like excess, I don't need it anymore. It can go away. We're done. Like you throw out clothes that you're done or whatever.
One thing I've kind of found is what's the motivation? Like really, what is the end result? Because sometimes we don't update like the reason. Because often I know for me, it was like, well, I want to look good so that I can like attract other people. But if you're like in a relationship, then maybe that goes away. Or maybe you've got kids, or just maybe it's not as important anymore. Or it's like, well, no, I got loads of personality. I don't need to look good. I'm just so
I've
funny, or I'm so charming.
Yeah, I've got them now. I don't need to worry. I don't need to try so hard. But it comes down to, and I love that, why is it that you want to release some excess weight? Yeah. Is it because you want to attract a partner? And then what happens when you get them? Like, do you go, oh, cool, I can gain the weight back again. It's all good. Or is it more around your health and your well-being? So taking good care of yourself, because I don't know, you may have just met somebody and it's super cool and you want to live forever, so to speak.
Yeah, because you want to enjoy being with them, or you do have kids, or you have young people you care about and you want to be able to be there for all the things. Or maybe it's your energy levels. Like, I got important things to do and I don't want to be tired or sick. And that usually comes with with the weight is from unhealthy lifestyle, whatever. It's going to come usually with more illness, one way or the other. Disease or dis-ease. It's like if we're not comfortable with ourselves or our environment, which brings me to like another aspect is sometimes there could be a good reason why the body image is not your quote unquote ideal. It could be serving a very important purpose based on things that either are going on or have gone on. And that sometimes is the most important thing to really heal and release, which then allows for the body fat to release.
Exactly. And that's the thing that, well, body image is important because it helps you to look in the mirror and go, you know what, I really like who I am, or I like what I'm seeing. But we know that loving who you are and loving your body are two different things too, because you can be the most incredible person, have the most dynamic personality, and look in the mirror and hate your body. And so that's why it's so important to get a really clear, well, my body image and the way my body looks is one thing, but it works in conjunction with how I feel in my body. How much energy have I got, like you said? So it's people say, I want to lose weight, but the reason that most diets don't work is because of the language that they're using, the reason for doing it, which is their motivator, and then also how they perceive themselves. So let me ask you this, Justin.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you look in the mirror?
Well, probably if you would have asked me like a few months ago, I probably would have gone like, I don't really like some of the things I see. It's like, well, if I get the right angle or if I twist or that, then I can. But it's like, I kind of got a little bit of the love handle going, or at least to me, even though most people that are gonna tell me so go like, oh man, I think you got a great body, but I'm like, I still see what's off. But lately, because it was about it's almost been 2 months now. My mom passed, which is very stressful, a lot of grieving, a lot of emotion, and so especially like the first few weeks, like I was eating just about anything and everything, and so it was also dealing with my family, which stresses me out, and so I actually haven't stepped on the scale in the past 2 months. I've been a little bit afraid to, but I've definitely put on some weight for sure. But I kind of, through a lot of feelings and all this, I've kind of had the realization that like, wait, this extra body fat's been like serving a purpose. It's been like kind of maybe storing up some of the stuff that maybe I couldn't process right away, or maybe it's been a buffer between me and my challenging family. And like, oh my gosh, it's been this way probably my whole life. I think I was talking to a friend once and I came up with it. Our body is almost like a cosmic receptionist. It's like, well, we're unconscious. It's taking everything down. It's like, oh yeah, while you were away, I saved up all of this sadness, all of this depression, all of this anger. It's all waiting for you to process whenever you're ready to get to it. And so when I got that perspective, I'm like, oh, my body's fucking amazing. Like, thank you. Like, thank you for putting this fat roll on. And I love you. And I'm here. We're going to work on it so that we can be having fun and feeling good. And so I think it's possible to love our body, but not necessarily go like, this is my optimal physical state yet, but seeing where I've been, where my body's been, and realizing that we haven't always been on the same page.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's a little bit like scars, right? Like I remember I had this great big scar because I'd had breast cancer many, many years ago. And like, I remember seeing a doctor and they said, oh, I could do something about that scar. And I went, no, that's fine. I'm okay with it there. It's fine. And they went, well, what do you mean? Like we could make it almost disappear. And I went, no. And he goes, why? And I said, because it reminds me that I survived it. I got through that, like that scar reminds me that I literally got through that time in my life. And that's one of the things, is that when people release a huge amount of weight like I did, what happens is the body goes, oh, well, the skin stretched to allow the stomach, the breast, the arms, or whatever, like to carry all this excess fat. And now it's like really floppy and really like a bit yuck for some people. And one of the people said to me, like, why didn't you just go and get all your excess skin removed like straight away? But before that, they said to me, do you even have excess skin? And I went, oh, yes, like I do. And they said, why haven't you gone to have it removed? And I said, because I want to adapt to being this new size. I want to adapt to being where I'm at. And if it is causing me medical issues, then yes, I will go and have it done, which I did, because the breast cancer came back, and we got that under control. And then that was major surgery. That was like 7 hours of being on the operating table to have
all of
removal. That. Of the breast and the stomach. And then it was like 12 weeks of hunched over. I was walking around hunched over because like they pull everything really tight. And while I'm going through that, I then went through looking at my body again going, I freaking hate this. Like, why the hell have I done this? And then I started to go, hold on, this is just a transition period. This is just the yucky bit, the bit that I get to enjoy, which is when I recover and I'm still alive to enjoy it, which comes back to your point about health. So as you said, you can be looking petite and having that idyllic body image, inverted commas, that people think you should have, the bikini body or the six-pack. But if you're not healthy and you don't connect emotionally to that body, you're never going to be happy. You're always going to be looking at the next thing. Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like we just have to like go through that exercise sometimes and just like, okay, is that going to do it? And then you go, oh no, it didn't. And then, okay, well, what is really going to do it? So not telling anybody to not go for, because I did have like one point in my life where I got, really, really ripped. I was doing one of these like transformational program things where it's like in 6 weeks, lose 20 pounds, which I think is like 12 kilos or something in 6 weeks. And, and I did it and got to like the lowest weight, lowest body fat ever. And it's like, but like I was exhausted. Like I was just running on fumes, and it didn't last more than like a couple of weeks because it wasn't a sustainable way to eat or work out. Knowing your why, it really does kind of come down to like, well, then how are you going to do it? Like, are you going to, basically get yourself jacked up on various supplements and things like that, or are you going to allow your body to adapt and to be energetic and self-fuel and change what you put in and all that stuff? Because I don't know, I found for me that it's more about what I eat, not necessarily how much I eat. Because I once did a carnivore diet for a month, and I ate as much as I want, but I dropped body fat, and I felt super energetic because I wasn't eating a bunch of other foods that, I realized that I had a sensitivity to doing one of those sensitivity tests. Like a lot of supposed healthy foods, not super healthy for me, it turned out.
Yeah. I have a fructose intolerance, and that is a lot of fruit and veggies.
Yeah, because people think like, well, fruits and vegetables, that's healthy, like easy.
Yeah.
But actually, most people have a sensitivity to one or more fruits or vegetables. Like it just is because of like where we were born, what our heritage is, and where various fruits are. And So what was it like when you found that out?
Well, I was attempting to release weight at the time as well, and it was like, oh, for goodness sake, I can't eat this and I can't eat that. Like apples, I used to love apples, and I'd gone to an apple orchard with a friend of mine, and like we got this natural pressed juice and all these apples, and I, probably spent about $30. Come home, I'm all good, and I kept getting sick having apples. And so that saying of an apple a day keeps the doctor away is like, oh, hell no, that doesn't work for me. It's like off to the doctor we go. So I got used, and so apples and onions are the two things that I really miss, especially when the neighbors barbecue, right? Like, I don't know about you over there, but here, if they barbecue, it's like onion on the grill and you can just smell it and it smells like good. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not worth the pain afterwards.
Yeah.
Really not.
Well, and so then did you discover other foods that you started to enjoy more, like as a replacement?
Yeah, I did. But also too, and we'll just let your listeners know, because my listeners already know this, is that I did have what they call bariatric surgery because I was so unwell. Right before that, I had a near-death experience where my heart rate was over 220 beats per minute. Yes, and and when you're a nurse and you see the ambulance people call more people and start getting drugs and certain machinery out, you sort of go, oh God, I'm going to die. Like, yeah. And so I made a promise, and when I had the test, they found out part of my stomach had died off anyway, so it had to go. Wow. So for me, I'm going through. I have a sensitivity to fructose. Gluten was a little bit hit and miss, depending. And then I had to go to where I could only eat like a cup of food, and I was full. I was like, it really messed with my mind for a good 6 months.
Yeah.
Eventually, though, I went, okay, if I can only eat a cup of food at the moment, I mean, that slowly expanded, but if I could only eat a cup of food, I have to make a choice. What does my body need? And when it comes to weight loss, protein is first. Muscle needs protein.
Yeah.
And our heart is a muscle.
Yeah, we have a lot of muscle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what ended up being your protein of choice then?
I did find a natural protein powder that, if I was in a hurry, it just have a smoothie. I like chicken, but mostly fish. Fish was really easy to eat, easy to digest. So like some grilled fish, or like steam it, like put it in some foil with a little bit of lemon juice and cook it in the oven. And just so it's salmon. Oh, love salmon. And then just choosing, looking at the fruit and veggies, or more so the veggies. So beans, so your legumes, and making sure that they didn't have a lot of additives to them, because that's the other thing people don't do, is they don't read labels.
Feeling overwhelmed by the daily grind? Imagine if you could pause, reset, and truly connect with a calmer, more fulfilled you. It's not just a dream, it's absolutely possible. Hi, I'm Justin, and I invite you to discover the life-changing techniques in my book, Engineered to Love. Right now, I'm offering a free chapter complete with guided audios that have already helped so many people find peace amidst the chaos. These aren't just any techniques. They're transformative practices designed to help you love yourself and engage deeply with the present moment without even having to close your eyes to the world around you. So join us at engineeredtolove.com/sample and access your free guided session. It's time to bust the busyness and embrace the joy, ease, and love in your everyday life. Don't wait. Start your journey to a more relaxed and recharged you today, because you deserve to live a life you love. Visit engineeredtolove.com/sample. See you there.
Well, I mean, if you look at most labels, like you need an advanced chemistry degree to read most of them, because they have 18 plus and, everything is multisyllabic. Although I do find it funny sometimes when it's got organic stuff and they just put organic in front of every ingredient, with organic carrots and organic peas and organic rice bran flour. It's like, oh, okay, all right, we get it, but you still have a lot of
but that's why you're paying $100 just for that tin of beans, because it's everything's organic.
Yeah. One thing I find interesting about food is that it really is not much different than any other habit we might have. Like just the habit of what we eat is similar to the habit of how we go to sleep, or the habit of how we exercise, or the habit of smoking or brushing teeth, or just about anything else. And just like any habit, it's going to be just as easy or just as hard with food as with anything else. And one thing I've learned with habits is that there really is no getting rid of a habit. It just really is has to be a replacement. So it can't be stop eating that. It's got to be, I'm going to eat this thing instead.
Yes.
And so when it can be something where it's like, because like people go, what are you doing? You're doing a carnivore diet. Like, but what about pizza? Or what about pie? Or what about bread? I love bread. It's like, and there's a little bit like, really, you love bread more than you like having a body that feels good and that you're proud of. But it's like, yeah, I like those things too. But it's like, I want to feel energetic. I want to feel proud of how I look. And then it's like, if I replace it with like a grass-fed steak with, some butter on it, okay, that's that. I like that. That's good. I can do that. I can enjoy that. It's like, look, I'm getting all these good things and I'm just replacing something that, like, yeah, it's really delicious, but is it doing that? And now I'm a lot more relaxed. Like, I don't do the carnivore diet and it's been a rough couple months, but now I can kind of go more often into what works better for me. And then every now and then have some fun.
Yeah. You have to have fun. Like, because, and also too, that like what a lot of people don't realize is food is an addiction. And unlike other addictions, we can't really just cut it out. We can't just say, I'm not going to eat anymore. I mean, people have done that, but we do not advise that because our body needs to be fueled. And if our body is not fueled, our heart will just stop and our brain will stop, and that's the end of it. But it's like the habits, like you said, of having sugar in your coffee and what is connected to it. And I also found that behind that habit is an emotion and an experience that was positive at one point. So, for example, I love to share this story of my family. We'd holiday interstate and we went to church, and then after church we went and got fish and chips. And it was the one time that the entire family like got on really, really well as kids. It was like there was no fighting between us kids. There was no jealousy. It was this fish and chips down by the beach with my family after church. And so now when I think about fish and chips, I'm like, I think of that memory because it's not the fish and chips I want. It's that connection.
Yeah. Like it kind of reminds me, like if I get sick, it's like, I want something like I had like when I was a kid. So to me, that still could be, if I get really sick, it's like, I want to go to McDonald's and get some McDonald's food. That's what my mom would have taken me for stuff. And but I think that also brings up another big thing about eating too, is the social element. Like the social element of, it's not just a habit personally, but there's also like a group habit of like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you're not going to be having the fish and chips with us? We all have fish and chips when we get into this gathering. And wait, you're just going to have a little protein shake? No. because it makes other people start to go like, well, wait, what am I doing? Is there something wrong with me? And most people don't like that. And so it's subtly kind of trying to change their habit, even though you're not really, but they take it as an attack sometimes. And depending on, how kind and gentle or conscious your peer group is, they might be really, especially with like drinkers, if you've ever been a drinker and hung out with drinkers and tried to go and like, no, I'm just going to have water. Like, what are you talking about? No, have a beer. What? Fine. Then let's just do shots. It's like, no, I don't want anything. And what do you mean I want ice cream? I'm getting ready for a race. I'm watching what I eat. And
you're almost pointed out to be the odd person.
Yeah. Well, and because in effect, when you're doing something different, you are the odd person, because we pretty much, if we look at who's around our life, they are around to support whatever we've been doing, and we're also supporting whatever they've been doing. And so when somebody changes, it's disruptive to the status quo. So it's good to either be around people that are good with change and encourage change and growth, or to bring in someone to support you.
Yes.
Through
like
that.
Me.
Yes. Like Jacqui or like
Justin. Yeah, we're going to come in and we're just going to get you all sorted, and you're all good. And then you can just hang out with your friends and you don't have to worry.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, like, when you know that that's going to happen and you have some like ways to deal with it, and you already have a plan of like, oh, I know they want me to eat this, but I'm going to bring this with me. And then if they try to, I'm going to just say, oh, no, thank you. I'm having this instead. And my favorite thing is a lot of people go like, yeah, but what if they ask again? You just repeat the same damn thing. Yeah.
And get really confident with your lines. Like, I know people will go, oh, I'm eating out. What am I going to do? I've got for me, I've got a wedding this weekend. And I'm like, I've already put in, no fructose for me. Thank you very much. But the rest of it, if I feel like I've got so confident in myself with food now and being at gatherings, it's like, if I feel like eating, I'll eat. If I want to eat that, then I will. But for those that are new to the journey, one of the things that I say to people is plan ahead and make the decision. There is nothing wrong with having a little bit of cake, some fish and chips, pizza, whatever, every so often. It's what you do 90% of the time. And after a while, I don't know about you, Justin, but if you went without, I don't know, what's your favorite takeout food? What would be, if I said, come on, Justin, we're going out for dinner, where would you take me? What would we have?
Oh, if I'm just like,
you're in a I don't really care mood.
it'd be pizza. Let's go find pizza. Like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Now, if you go without pizza for, say, I don't know, 6 weeks, and then I say, oh, come on, Justin, let's go get pizza. And you go, yeah, well, I'm up for that. Have you found that you would enjoy that? Or have you found that it's like neither here nor there?
Yeah, like honestly, if I'm been taking care of myself and I'm kind of like, on top of my game and feeling good and happy, it'd be pretty neither here nor there. And there's probably a good chance that if it happened to be like a bad pizza or something, I'd be like, yeah, I don't even need to finish that. This is just not worth it. And but like, if I was maybe had been losing sleep and been stressed out, then it could be I'm right back on that hamster wheel again.
Yeah.
But when I see that as, oh, this is information of the state of how I've been living my life, then I don't get down on myself. I'm just like, oh, I need to like maybe address some things.
Yeah, something.
Which is a way different outlook than in the past. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You've acknowledged like that's different now to how it was in the past.
Yeah, because in the past it'd be like, oh, I messed up. I ate a pizza. I'm just a big failure. Might as well get another one.
Yeah, just keep going, and we'll add in some ice cream as well.
Yeah, next month I'll do better. That's like,
yeah.
So I'm going to abuse myself for the whole month just because I had one bad meal.
Had one pizza. Yeah. Well, that also brings up a really good point of, next week, next month, Monday, I'll start again, right? Why not make a change now? Like, do you find that some people struggle to be in the now? Like, as you said, Jeff, you've had it. Did you enjoy it? yes, no. Okay, let's move on. What could you do differently now? Or do you find people are more, oh no, I need to do that on Monday, or I need to do that next week. Like it's always in the future rather than now.
I think most people are, let's put the hard thing in the future. Let's put it off. And right now, let's do the easy thing. I think that's what we're conditioned to, but really now is the time to do anything that you want to do. Honestly, doesn't matter what it is. If you want to be happy, now's the time to focus on if you want to be healthy, now is the time to do healthy activities. If you want to be loving, now's the time to be loving. There really is no wait till next week. It's effectively, you're telling yourself it's not that important in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. And there's a bit of, I've come across people that have had not a fear of failure with their weight transformation journey, but a fear of success. Like, what if my partner, and I have, which I'm sharing aspects of this in a book coming out in the new year, is that every time I was in a relationship, I released weight. And every time I was single, I gained weight.
Yeah.
Most people, it's the other way around. Now, what happened is I was like overweight, and then I attracted a guy that liked that, like somebody that was overweight, that was their kind of person that they were attracted to. Cool. But then when I became fitter and healthier, and I noticed too, looking back, that my confidence went up because I felt better about myself. And then they went, yeah, no, this isn't working. And the relationship ended. And so that's why now I've been on my own now for quite a few years. And I love the fact that I was morbidly obese and on my own. And I've taken this whole transformation journey over the last 5 years, and I'm still on my own, but I did it on my own. And now, if I was to have a relationship now, it would be completely different to what I've done in the past. And I feel the type of person that I would attract would be completely different as well.
Because do you feel now that you're confident in your ability to set and state boundaries and things like that? Because
that's a work in progress.
Well, I think it always, but it's like we all need boundaries, and sometimes if we're not going to use our voice to set it, our body will start to do things to help us set boundaries.
Yeah, I like that. And I think too that I was a people pleaser. Like I was all about, yep, if this makes you happy, that's okay. Did I want to do it? Nope. Like, but if you're happy, that's okay. And that went for relationships, that went for family. And then, as you said, sometimes when we walk into that area and we're like, well, no, we're not having fish and chips, I'm having my protein bar instead. It challenges other people because, as you said, we've attracted them to what we have been doing. And so really the people around us, when we create a change, and so for me with relationships as well, is that like if a person isn't sort of ticking a few boxes, I'm happy to go, that was nice to meet you and all the best with your life, and move on, because life is too short. And I think that the last few years have reminded us of that. We've just got the now. We have to make the most of the now, or not, and stay where you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a choice. There's no, you have to do this at a certain speed. So, but I think it is, when you are to that point of, all right, enough of this. This isn't working. You might as well go as quickly, and I say as easily as possible. I don't think things have to be fast and pain, and there's usually going to be some discomfort, but it doesn't have to be suffering or overly painful. And usually finding information or help from somebody who's done it before makes it so much easier.
Yes. Yeah. And what I love about your work, Justin, is that it's holistic. Like it's all about, using a whole toolbox of tools. And I love that, you don't have to do anything. I love that. That's so empowering to people.
Yeah. And it's empowering to the other people. And it's also very empowering to me because I used to be it's almost like the worst combination of a people pleaser that wants to fix everyone. Like it's just,
Yeah.
it doesn't work well.
No, I hear
I
you
want to
on
make you
that.
happy,
Yeah.
but I also want you to change. So
Yes.
that was, yeah. So I've learned I help when I'm asked or it's welcomed. Otherwise, hey, you want to keep going around that circle? That's fantastic. I'm gonna, try walking what I think is a straight line, but it's probably a crazy, jagged, who knows what. But
yeah.
It's the path I want to walk. Yeah. Anything else we want to?
I think we've really covered a whole array of topics, and that for everybody listening, we've really taken you on a bit of a journey. So feel free as you're listening to stop and go back to bits and things like that, and to reach out to one of us. And, if you reach out to me and I think that Justin's a better fit, then I'm just going to let you know that, because the way I work is you've got to work with the right person for you and where you're at with your energy changes. And weight is energy, and it's much deeper than the food and the exercise that you do. That it's a holistic approach.
Yeah, because I think a lot of those things that we're talking about of, what is it you want to get out of the change? Who are you hanging out? Like all of that stuff is way, way deeper. And it's kind of like, unfortunately, if you tackle that stuff, then kind of like the food and some of that stuff just starts to naturally work itself out. Like we do a lot of stuff backwards, where we start with the external and then we think that'll change the internal. We're really, it's more the internal makes the external changes so much easier and enjoyable and fun, actually, where it's like, ooh, I don't have to put this garbage in my mouth anymore. Like, because I love myself. Like, that's honestly where half the time I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that to myself. Like I don't want that garbage. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And that comes into loving you, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think back to being in college and it's like, oh, someone would go here's a shot of some nasty tequila and I would drink it. And now it's like, well, why do I need to shoot it? Oh, because it's cheap. It's like, well, then I don't want it. Well, here's some good stuff.
I'll have the $1,000 stuff. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I'm yeah.
Top shelf.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Yeah.
Okay, so if we hang out, I got to bring the top shelf tequila and a really good pizza, or just bring the salad.
I was just thinking we're like the worst coaches ever doing this topic in right before holiday season.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're the best because we're trying to get people ahead of the game and realize that, hey, you don't have to wait until New Year's when you're already done so much damage. And we're saying enjoy the holidays, but hey, maybe just, don't go every meal has to be a cookie meal, but
yeah, I think that I'm going to go with we're the good coaches, because we're giving you some things to think about and some strategies that you can start to implement. And then, if you really want to eat until that I'm so full, then okay, maybe record what that's like emotionally, mentally, and physically. Like if you really want to go ahead and do that, then maybe make a note of how you feel, because that can be a reference point later on. Oh, I remember feeling so tired. I couldn't do anything. And then I missed out on this, and this.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one thing I'll add is, I know it's kind of saying like, now is the time to start something, but it doesn't mean that you have to have the perfect plan now. You can just start doing any little thing. It could be, get on Amazon and buy a book about nutrition if you don't know anything, or, subscribe to one of our podcasts if you're not a subscriber yet, or book a session, or buy some shoes. Do something now, but it doesn't mean you have to do the perfect thing. You can start working towards your perfect plan, even though there's no perfect plan. They're all perfect plans, but do something now if you want to do something.
Yeah, stop. Just do it.
But if not, just own you don't want to do it and enjoy. Like that. Sometimes that's the worst is adding that extra shame on top of it. Like,
we're not here to shame you. We're here to empower you that when you're ready, we are here. We're not going anywhere. We're ready when you are. Yeah.
And till then, bottoms up with the tequila and enjoy the pizza. Have some holiday cookies. All right. Well, thanks everybody. It's glad to meet Jacqui's audience and my audience.
Justin.
Yeah. All right. Thanks and good day. If you want to contact the show, email me at podcast@justinwink.com. That's Justin, W-E-N-C-K. And find me on social media, Justin Wink, Ph.D. on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. And if you want ways so that you can relax, recharge, and reconnect, find the Tuesday 20 every Tuesday at 12:05 p.m. Pacific. It's only 20 minutes, and it's going to get you relaxed, recharged, and reconnected. It's on YouTube, and it's on Facebook. So looking forward to seeing you there.